For my iPad app, I'm going to be demonstrating how myself, a business teacher in Wisconsin, is going to use the iPad app iTeleport. I have to do a couple different things in order to use this app. I needed to download some software that I put on my desktop computer at school. I can actually download that software and put it on any computer free of charge. The only cost is going to be when you actually download the app onto your iPad itself. Now, a couple things that I have learned is when you download the application onto your desktop or onto your laptop, there are two different pieces that you need to download. Make sure that you watch to see which one will suit your configuration for your desktop or laptop. My desktop computer in my classroom has two monitors, so I needed to make sure that I downloaded the appropriate program that supports dual monitor display. I've only downloaded it on one computer, but I do see how I'd be able to use that on my home PC as well. So what I have up in my classroom right now is I'm sitting here, and you can see behind me on the screen is going to be my desktop computer in my classroom projected just how I would be teaching in the classroom. What I have here now is my iPad, and I'm going to go ahead and find the app for iTeleport, and it is located right here, and I'm going to go ahead and launch that app called iTeleport. And when it launches up, the first thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to make sure that I sign in, and I'll sign in the upper corner. Once that I'm signed in, the next thing that comes up says, okay, I'm in my account. Which computer do I want to access? And again, right now I only have one. The research that I've done on iTeleport is right here. It is connecting with the computer. Is I have found that iTeleport will work much better when you're connecting through a Wi-Fi network versus a 3G. The speed is going to be just a little bit quicker. You can connect with the 3G, you may experience a little bit of lag time. So now why would I use iTeleport? What I can do with iTeleport is I can be anywhere in the classroom, and I can go ahead and access and type on my computer that would be projecting to my students. I currently do use a remote clicker, which allows me to go ahead and click and advance on things, but I do not have a wireless keyboard that would allow me to be able to move throughout the lab and enter information. I can do that now with my iPad. So right here, this is what I'm seeing in iTeleport, which doesn't look very nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rotate my screen, and you can see that it does rotate to fit the iPad display, and I'm going to go ahead and lock it. Now, again, I have two monitors that I work with in my classroom. So you are actually going to see right here, this is my left monitor. I can go ahead and shrink it a little bit so you can see both of them at the same time. My left monitor is here. My right monitor is there. I have two different resolutions, so that's why one appears a little bit bigger than the other. And the two different resolutions allows me to make sure what is projected to my students is clear for them to follow directions. So now again, you can see behind me that is going to be my desktop display. So what I'm going to do right now using my iPad is I'm going to go ahead and click on the internet, and you'll find up behind me is my wiki page that I have created that I use for my classroom. So I'm going to zoom in on my wiki page, and you can see right here I'm moving my mouse, and I can go ahead and launch the video that will play over my head. If you haven't seen this video before, it's great. It's just taking a look at what is the view of a Century 21st learner. I'm going to go ahead and pause that. So you can see right here from my iPad, I went ahead and I accessed that. Now I can go ahead and change pages too. So if I want to go ahead and take a look at my iPad applications page on my wiki, you can see it displayed behind me. I need to scroll over. There is a little bit different technique for going ahead and navigating using iTeleport. Right now, my mouse is on my scroll bar. I can use two fingers, and you can see that I am scrolling down. And what I have on the bottom here is I went ahead and I made a 12-minute video on some of the apps that I have found that I really enjoy on my iPad. So I can go ahead and click and launch that video as well. Again, playing behind me. So great, I can use this as a means for me to be mobile in my classroom and be able to change anything that's going to be on my display. But how else can I use iTeleport? One of the things that I'm going to be able to use iTeleport for is I use Microsoft Word. I also use Google Docs, but when I'm creating and teaching students how to use the Microsoft Office suite, I need to make sure that I can demo and practice that. Well, if I'm out and about and I don't have my desktop and all I have with me is my iPad, what I can do is I can make sure that I use iTeleport. What I need to do is when I leave though, if I'm not in the building, I need to make sure that my computer is still logged in because that allows the iTeleport software to still be running. What I need to make sure that I do is I have to make sure I do my Control Alt Delete to lock my computer so nobody else can get in, but it would still allow me to access my desktop from iTeleport. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and launch Microsoft Word right here on my iPad. So I'm going to be scrolling over, and you are not going to see this changing on the screen behind me because Microsoft Word for me default loads on my monitor that does not display to my classroom. I just click and drag over. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and click on Start. And once I clicked on Start, you can see I can go ahead and choose my applications on my desktop, and I'm going to go ahead up and choose Microsoft Word. One of the nice things that you can do on iTeleport is you can see that my screen comes up and I can, again, pinch to zoom, and that you can see right now I have Microsoft Word open on my iPad. I can go ahead and type. All I need to do is call up the keyboard. My keyboard appears down below, and I can go ahead and type, and it appears on Microsoft Word. So again, if it was displaying over my monitor, I would be able to show students in class exactly what I would need to do. I have found it a little bit tricky in order to click and drag programs from one display screen to another, but I can certainly move my programs relatively easy. There is a quick user guide that you will find on the iTeleport website that will give you ideas like how do you right click, how do you left click. For example, how do you Control Alt Delete? So if I needed to leave right now my classroom and I didn't want to go down there to Control Alt Delete it, up on the very top of iTeleport you have some commands, and I would click on this command button right here and it actually pops up and I have all my function keys. So what I need to do is I need to lock my computer because I need to go, and so right here is a key called Control Alt Delete. So I hit Control Alt Delete, and you can see now behind me my computer screen has been locked up. So using iTeleport will really help me in the classroom in order to manage what I'm displaying without being tied to my desktop computer and being able to type at the same time. It'll also allow me to access and use any of the programs that I have loaded specifically on my desktop and access and use it right here on my iPad. So if I'm doing Photoshop or Dreamweaver, any of that, I can go ahead and use it right on my iPad. So check it out, iTeleport. I recommend it.